Hello everybody. So today we are going to be spending some time talking about circles. Actually today and tomorrow we're going to be talking about them. We are going to spend our time defining a few things about circles because if we can define them then it will help with our solving. Then we're going to talk about finding the circumference of a circle. And we'll talk more about what that means in a few minutes. But first, we need to define some things out of a circle. Well, really, we need to define what a circle is. So a circle is the set, so it means all, the group of all points in a plane. So this is a two-dimensional figure that are the same distance from a point, and that's called the center. So that's the technical geometric mathematical definition for a circle. You know it's a round thing. It's a closed round figure, right? No sides, no corners, nothing open. But what it's saying is you have a center. And we could label that right here. There in the center, that's our center of our circle. And every point that's on the circle that makes up that circle is the same distance away from the center. Doesn't matter where it is. That's what our definition is telling us. Now, we got to talk about the segment that goes from the center out to the edge of the circle. We call that the radius, and we abbreviate it with a lowercase r. That's the distance from the center to any point on the circle. So in our drawing here, I'm going to highlight it and we're going to label it. Now, you can draw a radius anywhere. I'm going to draw this particular one right here. I'm going to highlight it in blue and say there's our radius. That's R. And that's going to become really important to us as we find things like circumference and area. Now we also have a diameter, and that's represented with the lowercase d. So the diameter is the distance across the circle through its center. So I'm going to highlight that one in orange. This whole thing here that I'm going to highlight, that's the diameter. Now, if you look at it, we said it has to go through the center. Well, if it goes from the center out to an edge, that's a radius, correct? And if it goes from the center out to the edge here, that's a radius. So really, a diameter is 2 radii. That's the plural of radius. 2 radii put together. So there are 2 radii. You ever seen a word with 2 eyes in it right together? There you go. 2 radii in a diameter. Or another way you can think about it is radius, or R, equals diameter divided by 2. And diameter equals 2 times the radius. That's going to be important as you do some solving. And then last term up here. It's the circumference. That's the big thing we're going to talk about today. Circumference. And it's represented with a capital C. That is the distance around a circle. Really, if you think about it, it's the perimeter. It's just a mathematical term. A geometric term. We don't call it we don't say what's the perimeter of the circle. We say what's the circumference. So it's the distance around. So we'll just draw a little circle around. So this distance around, that's the circumference. So when somebody asks you to find the circumference, you're finding the perimeter. And we're going to talk about how we do that here in just a moment. Okay, now we got to talk about pi. We did this a little bit right before we went to the stay-at-home order. We talked about how we had Pi Day, the day before Pi Day. And we talked about what pi was. I'm going to slide this up a little. There we go. Pi. It's a Greek letter. It's the 16th letter of the Greek alphabet. And it's the ratio of any circle's circumference to its diameter. So what we're saying is pi is equal to circumference divided by diameter every time. Now, pi is a number that goes on forever and ever and ever. But we have some approximations for it. The main one that we use is 3.14. This is the most common approximation. Another one that does get used sometimes is the fraction 22/7. That is another one. Now, in the next video, we're going to look at how do we actually use pi and our diameter and our radius to find the circumference. But that'll be coming up in part 2. See you then.